North Korea just fired more than 10 ballistic missiles into the sea. And if you're thinking, we've seen missile launches before, you're not wrong. But the timing and the setting of this one are what makes it dangerous. Because according to South Korea's military, these missiles were launched from an area near Pyongyang at around 1:20 p.m. local time. And they went toward waters off North Korea's east coast, right as U.S. and South Korean forces are in the middle of major annual joint drills. Japan's Coast Guard also reported detecting what could be a ballistic missile. And Japan's public broadcaster NHK said it appeared to have landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. And the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command said it's aware of the launches, is consulting with allies and partners, and based on current assessments, this event does not pose an immediate threat to U.S. personnel, territory, or allies. So tonight, I'm going to break down exactly what we know, what we don't know, why this launch happened now, and what the next move could look like. Because the most dangerous part of any missile crisis isn't the missile. It's the misunderstanding. Before we get into it, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because when events move fast in East Asia, the headlines lag behind the reality, and we follow the confirmed details as they come in. And I want you to participate in this one. Drop a comment right now. Do you think this launch was mainly a warning to the U.S., a warning to South Korea, or a signal to North Korea's own domestic audience? Type A, U.S. B, South Korea. C, domestic audience. What we know right now is this. 1, South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff say North Korea fired more than 10 ballistic missiles. 2, the missiles were launched from an area near the capital, Pyongyang, at about 1:20 p.m. 3, they went toward waters off the country's east coast. 4, Japan's Coast Guard detected what could be a ballistic missile, and reporting cited by NHK suggests it landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. 5, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command says it's aware, consulting, and assessed no immediate threat right now. That is the confirmed backbone of the story as of this moment. Now, here's what we do not have in that initial confirmed package. We do not yet have, from that report alone, a detailed breakdown of what specific missile types were fired. We do not have confirmed ranges for each projectile. We do not have a confirmed splashdown map. And we do not have confirmation that any missile crossed into restricted zones, because outside Japan's EEZ is not the same thing as not dangerous. So when you see people online declaring they know exactly which missile it was and exactly what it means, slow down. This story is about what is confirmed, what is likely, and what is speculation. And now we go to the next piece, why this happened today at this exact moment. This launch comes as the United States and South Korea are conducting large annual joint military drills. Reuters describes river crossing drills involving hundreds of U.S. and South Korean troops with equipment including tanks and armored combat vehicles as part of the annual Freedom Shield training. Source, and there's a reason this matters. North Korea has a long pattern, decades, of reacting to joint U.S.-South Korea exercises with tests, launches, or threats. The allies say these drills are defensive and readiness-based. North Korea routinely says they're rehearsals for invasion. That narrative is consistent and predictable. And that predictability is exactly why missile launches during drills are so dangerous. A radar misread, a misinterpreted trajectory, a false report of impact, a decision made in minutes, not hours. That's how crises happen. So the fact that this launch occurs during major drills isn't just symbolism, it's testing, it's strategic messaging. But there's another layer to the timing that a lot of people missed. According to Reuters, just days ago, on Thursday, South Korea's Prime Minister Kim Min-seok met President Donald Trump in Washington to discuss ways to reopen dialogue with Pyongyang. And Reuters reports that Trump is eager for an opportunity to sit down with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. So think about how North Korea could interpret that moment. On one hand, joint drills. On the other hand, talk of reopening dialogue. From Pyongyang's perspective, that can look like the same old pattern. Pressure plus invitations. And whether that's what Washington intends or not, the result is North Korea choosing a familiar tactic: missile launches that force everyone to pay attention. Now, here's the key question for this video. Is this launch a message or is it a test? And the truth is, it can be both. So let's break down what a launch like this can be designed to accomplish. Without guessing beyond the evidence, what this launch could be trying to do, there are four main strategic functions of missile launches, and North Korea has used all four over the years. Function 1, deterrence signaling. This is the simplest. North Korea demonstrates it has weapons that can fly, that can be launched quickly, and that can be repeated. It's not about hitting something today, it's about being believed tomorrow. Function 2, readiness and training. A barrage of more than 10 launches, if that's what it was operationally, can stress test command and control, launch crews, fuel systems, transport systems, and timing. Function 3, political leverage. Missile tests reshape the diplomatic calendar. Suddenly, every meeting is about North Korea. Suddenly, every official statement must mention North Korea. Suddenly, an issue that might have drifted down the news cycle is forced to the top. Function 4, domestic narrative. North Korea's leadership is obsessed with internal legitimacy, strength, resistance, standing up to foreign pressure. Major drills by the U.S. and South Korea can be framed domestically as a threat, and missile launches can be framed domestically as response. Now, which of those four is the main driver today? We can't say with certainty from one report, but we can use the context to understand why this is happening now. And this is where I want to ask you a question that most channels don't ask. If you were North Korea, what would you want the world to believe after today? Would you want the world to believe you can overwhelm defenses with volume? Would you want the world to believe you can launch from near Pyongyang at will? Would you want the world to believe that drills equal consequences? Tell me in the comments, what do you think the intended belief is? Now we move to the next layer, what the immediate reactions tell us, reactions, and what they really mean. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command says no immediate threat, and they're consulting with allies. That's a deliberately controlled message. It's designed to do two things at the same time. 1, avoid panic. 2, avoid giving North Korea the satisfaction of looking like it forced an emergency. Meanwhile, South Korea's military quickly released detection details, which signals readiness and